Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that.
I won't back down. What do you think, I'm blind?
Yes.
Hey, baby. There ain't no easy way. Come over here.
I was trying to do a sneak ups. I was trying to
I was staring at you the
get you a
entire
little
time.
sneaky. I didn't know.
Okay, so, Jessica, you have that backwards. If I'm looking at you and you're not watching me, you can't sneak up on me.
I was just doing a little sneaky.
You weren't. Okay, so how are
Time
you?
for those podcast candies. Nom nom.
So how are you today?
Terrible. How
Great.
are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good.
So I've been listening to some. I did like an hour of prep,
Yay.
maybe longer.
Wow.
It wasn't really active prep. It was more listening to about 20 minutes or so, I think, of 4 different podcasts.
Okay. Do you want to name podcasts that are better than ours?
Sure. I listened to a bit of one. Actually, I don't remember them off the top of my head. Hold on.
Links in the description.
No, I'm not going to do that. One of them is called, I do know it because I listen to it pretty often, is How Did This Get Made?
Okay.
One of them was called something. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was a show with
It's
2 women who I had never heard of, actually, called Bitch Sesh. And one of them was women I had heard of, called Best Friends with Nicole Byer and Sashir Zamata.
I have not heard of either of those people.
I have. So
Okay.
those were interesting. And then the 4th one, was Hello from the Magic Tavern. That one, I didn't... The others were all, and are all, comedies. That one, I don't know. Hello from the Magic Tavern is like...
How I Made This isn't a comedy.
How Did This Get Made?
Oh.
Not How It's Made.
Yeah.
That's also not a podcast.
No, I think there's one called How I Made This, and it's like talking about businesses and stuff. That's what I thought you were talking about.
How Did This Get Made is...
Oh, got
movies.
it. Yeah.
Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas and...
Yeah, I've listened to it with you.
I'm telling the dear readers. So anyway, Hello from the Magic Tavern. See, it's odd because it seems like it's all pre-written.
Okay.
That's the feel that I get from it.
That's what we should do.
And I don't... Well, someone would have to write 45 minutes of material, and it's not going to be you. And
That'll be my job.
Jessica, you don't do 10 minutes of prep.
I need a job.
You know, you need motivation.
I would put in the work. I just genuinely don't know what prep means.
Listen, enough of this. We're not doing this again. So anyway, Hello from the Magic Tavern. I don't know if it's supposed to be a comedy or not, which is probably not a good sign. But so the commonality that I found with them, first of all, there are a lot of themes that seem to be running through all of them, like having bits that you do every show, or having segments or stuff like that. Some of them have guests.
Like you pretending to hate me.
That's not a recurring segment. That's more like a through line.
Okay.
But for example, like our terrible improv would be a segment we would do.
Okay.
For example, with that, like that's how you can. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
That's stupid.
I'm not saying you have to like that specific segment. That's fine.
I know. I mean,
preparing for the podcast is not stupid.
No.
I know that you don't do it. That doesn't.
I
make
didn't
it
say
stupid.
it was. What do you mean?
Well, I'm telling you that you need to prepare for the podcast, and I'm giving you things that you can bring to the show.
Like what?
And you said that's stupid. Like coming up with a segment, for example.
Oh, got it.
Or
okay.
like having we can read mail from the listeners.
Obviously, down the line that would be fun, but
Listener mail?
yeah, we don't get any of that.
You got anything? I got one letter actually in the mail that was a bunch of like letters from a magazine pasted together, and they said I needed to bring $30,000 to some wharf if I ever wanted to see my son again. And then I double checked and I realized that it was meant to be sent to our neighbors, so I just threw it out. I figured if it's important, they'll send it again, and I didn't want to have to explain to them that I would open their mail.
Could have slipped it under their door.
It's by midnight, or else he sleeps with the fish or something. I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird, and the spelling was off.
It is fishy.
Yeah. Boo. Ho ho ho.
Well, hopefully they made it out okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I got bored halfway through it. I got sleepy. So anyway, What do you have today? I have a couple things, but let's get to what Jess has first.
We've already discussed this before the podcast. You know I have nothing.
Okay. Wow.
I don't see why I gotta put me on blast. I played Wildlife Park
Not
for
putting you on blast.
6
I'm
hours
asking you
today.
What you want to talk about?
Oh, it was cool. I was playing Wildlife Park, and I got myself, $500,000 in debt? Maybe more than that. And Robert had to come and take over my zoo for me.
So Jessica got herself, from what I heard, $700,000 in debt. I came downstairs and played for half an hour, and when I left, you had about $110,000.
Yeah.
Above zero.
Yeah.
I changed the price of admission to your zoo, so it's no longer $1. I sold off many of the extra animals, like a shark is $60,000, and you have
I've been selling sharks.
And also, no one cares about sharks or wants to see them in a
what?
zoo.
How dare
They're just
you?
in a hole in the ground. Anyway,
I would love to see sharks.
I unlocked the dinosaurs for you, which was confounding you, and you had looked it up and you couldn't figure it out, and I just figured it out by playing the game for 10 minutes.
That was incredible. Yeah, well, because Wildlife Park is kind of obscure. They don't really, when you Google it, they don't really have many results.
Yeah, but it's a child's game. And
couldn't figure it out. All right, maybe if I had read the back or the manual.
I didn't do any of that.
Okay, Rob, okay.
It's not a dick measuring contest.
Clearly it is.
176 milliliters being displaced, by the way. And that's flaccid, but who's
What a weird fucking way to measure your dick size.
Excuse me.
The water displaced.
What are you doing?
Oh, I hate you.
Like length? What are we doing? Tip to tailbone? How are we doing this?
I hate you so much. To tailbone.
When I left, you had about, from hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, you had $110,000 or $20,000 in the bank.
Profit, yeah.
And then you texted me like an hour later saying you were $500,000 in debt.
Yeah, I got right back.
How is that possible?
I'm not good with money.
What did you do? Okay, but what did you do?
I just kept on buying dinosaurs, and once I sold the research center.
Why would you do that?
Because I finished with the dinosaurs. I got them all. Gotta catch them all.
I guess that's fine.
So you guys, I spent a lot of time. My friend took over my computer because I couldn't figure out stuff, so he just I just screen share and he helped me. So it's been a very collaborative day, just me being incapable and everyone else helping me through things. So that was it. That's today. So
I don't understand two things that confuse me. One, how you can manage to rack up from when I left $600,000 in
you gotta
debts owed.
The dinosaurs are really fucking expensive.
You had 6 when I left. How many do you need?
I didn't. Okay,
you had 6 velociraptors in a small.
No. They took. That's because they took a. What do velociraptors come from in that game?
What? Oh, I don't know. Whatever the bird was.
No, flamingos.
Or something.
Flamingos
doesn't matter.
give you
Alaxosaurus.
The weird birds, sure. And then something gives you velociraptors that I don't remember now.
Those weird birds.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
That's not how dinosaurs work in this game. I literally unlocked the rest of them.
Okay, whatever. What's your point?
Anyway, so basically, what was my point? Oh, those weren't. You didn't have to pay for those 6 dinosaurs because they the animal gave birth, and then those babies became. I got the Yeti. I got the big whale guy. And the whale guys are huge, and they only come one per. It's like a whole fucking thing. They're an investment.
Sounds like it. Anyway,
God.
You bought a Yeti.
Yes, they were disgusting.
I'm sorry.
Look like.
You bought a man in a suit.
Yes, they look like gorillas that just stand up on. They look like furry humans, I guess. But they're tiny because they come out as babies, and then I was like, "Oh fuck it!" Once I unlocked it, I got a
baby Yeti.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I was gonna call you down to show you, but then I was like, he doesn't care.
Do you think the Sasquatch has a human dick or a dog dick?
What is wrong with you? But a human dick, probably.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know, probably an ape dick.
All right, interesting.
I don't know.
Jessica knows a lot about ape dick, so
I've been watching the
kick this back
animals
to you. This is more your wheelhouse. Yeah. I know. Can you watch the Yetis fuck?
Probably.
Maybe if they.
Oh yeah, if they
a quest for fire thing.
Oh my god, I hope they fuck like normal people. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be great.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, I'm flabbergasted that you could rack up that much debt.
I'm really gifted at it in my real life too.
I'm a little confused that the game lets you just keep.
I know, that's what I'm upset about. It should say By the way,
you shouldn't be upset about that, because if it didn't, then you would you'd have 8 birds.
I'm pretty sure, like, in The Sims or whatever, it turns, like, your money bar turns red or something when it's getting too low. Yeah, and then once you can't afford something, it won't let you buy it. Like, that's how life works. You don't just fucking be like, oh, got credit cards. Well, you can. Got zoo credit cards, and now we're just fucking...
But I don't understand how you could be operating at such a loss in a children's game.
I'm not good at it. Also, I to be fair, I filled my zoo the fuck up. Like, I don't think I've ever played a game where my zoo got full. I don't know if that's true, but it usually doesn't happen. But immediately I was like, I'm gonna fill my zoo up immediately. Maybe it's like a glitch that they let me go into debt.
I mean, maybe you downloaded this illegally, so it's very possible.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I thought we weren't saying that. I thought that was the whole thing.
You're right. No, that was for something else.
Oh.
I don't care. No one cares that you... It's a $4 game.
Well, then what did you care about?
Why would you be asking me this again on the podcast?
We'll talk about it later. I am so fed up. I'm so fed up with your secrecy.
So, another commonality...
How did I get up here? Did you move me up here?
Stop. Another commonality is that they don't talk about audio bits, or visual bits, rather, on the audio forums.
Obviously.
The fora that they're on. And yet you keep referencing...
This is...
visual.
Guess what? We're not them, Rob, okay?
I know,
we're
good.
Different. Oh... But we're us, through and through. I'm gonna die like this, and I'm never gonna learn, and I'm never gonna change.
Jessica is plunging a sword into her stomach right now. It's pretty dramatic. It's kind of haunting. That'd be a weird way to kill yourself.
Seppuku?
Yeah. Like, I don't... Just cut your throat or something.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very, very slow. Yeah, also, I wonder what the chances of you actually dying are.
Probably pretty astronomically high if you if you run yourself through with a sword.
I truly don't know. I feel like a lot of people that stab themselves are fine.
How many people do you know who stab themselves? I think Artie Lang
Maybe I'm
tried
thinking
to
of
kill himself
people
by stabbing himself in the tummy.
Who is that? In the tummy.
He was a comedian. Well, he's got a big old tummy. That might be what saved him. He was a comedian. Is a comedian. Was on the Howard Stern show. Also a radio show. Okay. Also better than this one.
Again, why would you choose that to be your
I don't
way
know.
of suicide? There's so many super fun, exciting ways to kill yourself.
Name 6. Let's rattle off some interesting
ways. I don't want to give anyone any inspiration. You know what I mean? There could be people here that are thinking about it. All of our 2 listeners.
Yeah, all of them. I would, as you know, I guess this isn't really suicide, but if I'm being electrocuted, I would put as much popcorn kernels into my body as possible.
Didn't you say this on the podcast? Didn't we do this?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, as you know.
Well, I that could have been a conversation that we've had in the past 6 years.
I think it would be interesting to dress myself up as a piñata and throw myself off a building. And then when I hit the ground, and then I would explode into, not candy, mind you, but human candy. Yeah, but piñatas don't fall, they get hit. Yeah. Like, maybe I'd dress up as a piñata and step in front of a train. There you go. Yeah. Now we're talking. Be better. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but don't do any of those things. I guess it depends on what... Like, if I have technology at my disposal... Like, if Which you do. Well, no, I mean... Thank you, Jess. If I... Have, I thought you were saying, like, you could do this, like, 20 years ago. If I had, like, Bruce Wayne-type money at my disposal, or Batman-esque technology, like, if I had a jetpack, I'd probably dress myself up as a bird and slam into a window. Christ. Or maybe as Icarus, and then just fly up until... That's cute. That'd be poetic. I guess I ran out of gas, and then just fall back to the earth. I do want to be flung into the sun when I die, so... Yeah. There is a sun motif in your life, I feel like. I think there's a sun motif in every living thing's life. Yeah, I was going to say, actually... Maybe not a fungus. Like, you want to go... Like, your biggest dream in your life is to go to the moon, so I feel like you have a space... And in death to the sun. Yeah, you have, like, a space thing. Yeah. But I wouldn't call it a sun thing. It's called the human condition. I definitely don't have a sun thing. Well, you're earthbound. You always... No, I'm saying, like... You're saying I think all living things have a sun thing, and I'm saying I don't. You don't appreciate the sun? No. I like to be inside. You're an ingrate. And I like to... I go to bed when the sun comes out. Bye. Well, I guess for a vampire it might be a little difficult. Tanning bores me, so I don't really like the sun for tanning. Yeah. So. I mean, look, you make some compelling arguments for why we should blow up the sun. I just don't know that I have the resources available. All right, well, figure it out. Yeah, maybe when you run for presidency. Run for presidency.
The presidency.
No, you had it. That was fine.
Maybe when you run president.
You're from Serbia. They'll understand. So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
That was it. We can talk about it when you're president.
Talk about it.
I still think you should do it. I think that'd be kind of cool.
So a couple of things to talk about. One, did you have any imaginary friends when you were a child? Oh, wow. Okay.
I thought I saw a couple people in my room at night sometimes, but that was it.
Okay, so Jessica was abused as a child, but...
Stop!
I don't know if you thought
Low-key, yeah, our therapist was like, yeah, I think there's some repression happening there, and I'm like, what? And I couldn't tell if that was being insinuated. I definitely was not abused as a child.
Who was
or
in your
was
room
I? It was like weird spirity things, and my mom was like, it's probably like your relatives coming back to say hey or something.
Oh, we can go... Did I already tell this story in the pod? I did not. Back to Greg Corner, when...
I don't think you've told anything about his imaginary friends.
Wow, I guess I could
That's a segment.
I could have two. Yeah, and you hate it.
Well, I do, but, you know, I have not...
It's the best part of our podcast, and you tear into me every time I try to do it. So, I could have two. Greg did have imaginary friends, but I was saying when we moved... When I was, 8, so Greg was 5, his new room, his entire life, he had shared a room with me. But am I boring you already?
Sorry.
Can I not tell the story about my 5-year-old brother without
I'm sorry, please continue.
Yawning through it?
I'm gonna have to yawn again, though, because you interrupted it, but don't worry.
Keep your mouth shut for 30 seconds.
Okay.
Try that on for size. Don't shush me. We're doing live radio. Are you kidding me?
It was a laugh.
It was not a laugh. I heard it, Jessica. I'm right here. No one laughs like that.
That's why I was laughing. Otherwise, I just would go...
What are you, Scooby-Doo? No one laughs like that.
Oh my
Stop pulling my hair.
I'm just stroking
Muttley
it.
laughs like that.
Fuck you. Tell your story.
Moved into a new house. Greg was 5. First time in his life had his own room. And so he, as a 5-year-old might, got scared and thought there were ghosts in his room. And so he, upset, went to my mother one day or night and said, Ma, I think there are ghosts in my room. Ghosts. And my mother, far from reassuring him that no, there were no ghosts, said, yeah, there probably are ghosts, but they probably won't hurt you.
Oh my god.
Ghosts usually don't and can't hurt human hosts. Which I don't know what lore...
Hosts.
That's not what I've ever seen. Like, the Ghostbusters certainly doesn't tell like that. Most...
I don't think I've ever seen a ghost.
Maybe Casper, but he was...
He can also enter your body if he wants to.
He was unusual because he was a friendly ghost. Yeah. He even got a moniker for being
and he was
a friendly ghost.
The children's ghost, too.
I think he was the ghost of a child.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, he was a kid's movie. Like,
itself.
Ghostbusters wasn't a kid's movie.
Well, I mean, a family movie, I think.
Yeah, but, like... I think Casper is definitely more.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true. That's fair. That's for sure true.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thanks.
You're right. So anyway, that's Greg Corner. You didn't have any imaginary friends?
No, I had real friends.
Whoa.
So.
Wow.
Didn't need that.
Wow. Burn on everyone else.
I don't know. I also, I had a real life younger brother, so I didn't really need to create friends to hang out with.
I don't think that's... I think it's just like a common...
No, I'm pretty sure it's like a loneliness thing.
I don't think so. I think most kids have an imaginary friend.
I don't think that's true. I think it like ties into some... Like there's a lack of something, and that's why you create it for yourself, because you don't get it.
It's possible. I think you're wrong.
I'm gonna look it up.
You know you won't. So
yeah, I won't.
You won't.
You don't know anything about me.
I didn't have many imaginary friends. I had one.
Oh my god, you did.
Can I?
Have you told me about
tell
this?
Story?
What? You fucking nerd. How old were you? Hello.
It's just so difficult to.
It's called a conversation.
It's not called a conversation when I can't get through a sentence.
How old were you?
So I had one imaginary friend. It's hard to put any sort of form to him because he didn't. I think he had my voice, so
What the fuck?
Can I please tell my story,
Horrified.
please?
I'm allowed to give.
While I'm in the middle of my sentences.
Yeah, I can add my commentary.
Be quiet.
Just keep talking over it.
No, we don't do that when we're recording live radio because then no one can hear either of us.
I'm allowed to say what the fuck. That's crazy.
Wait until I'm not talking.
But it'll be too late by
It won't be too late. It won't be too late. No one else is going to interrupt you, Jess. It's me and you.
Listen to My Favorite Murder. They interrupt each other all the time. That's how conversation goes. She starts telling about a murder and she goes, what? That's crazy. That's how conversations go. Robert has checked out of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, look,
So he had your voice.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm gonna interrupt that too. So just
go ahead.
Talk about your imaginary friend.
The Neanderthals.
Ugh.
It's I think today or yesterday. The story announced that they found rope or twine in near what was known to be a Neanderthal colony.
Okay.
And it's interesting because that's the earliest evidence of rope or twine ever found. It's made by Neanderthal. Are you feeling like you want to talk about anything?
Well, I don't like it when you get all huffy when I'm just trying to, like.
I'm not getting huffy. We've talked about I'm not. This is problematic, right? Because I've talked about this with you both on and off the podcast, wherein I said you can't talk over me because I listen back to the podcast and you don't. Every time you tell me not to talk over you, I say I'm sorry, you're right, and I stop. And I try not to do it at all.
But when you stop like this, like in between sentences, I can say, "Oh my God, that's crazy."
Yeah, that's fine. That's not what you did.
Okay,
not what you ever apologize. Do. And not only, even if it was what you did, that's not what I accused you of doing something else, and you were standing your ground, defending stop. Do you see what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Defending your right to talk over me, even though we've had this exact conversation wherein I said when one of us talks over the other one, nobody can understand anything that either of us are saying. And you said, I agree, I'll stop doing it. And then 2 days later, when we're recording the podcast, you say, no, I can talk whenever I want.
Okay, but your sentence is like, you don't pause and you talk so quickly, it's hard to get a word in when you start talking.
It's not hard.
Yes, it is.
It's not hard. You just get bored of my sentences almost immediately.
No. I will not talk over your words.
I don't... So, most of the podcasts that I listened to had jokes.
Okay.
Do you feel like telling jokes?
Like knock-knock jokes?
Do you feel like saying something funny?
Oh, never. Never ever. What about you? You take it away. You love that.
Why are you here?
You love that. You can do a stand-up thing on your own, you know?
So why are you here?
Yeah.
No,
I don't need to be funny in order to validate my presence.
No, I'm saying, why are you on the podcast?
What do you mean? Because our podcast is not a comedy podcast.
It's supposed to be.
I told you we cannot do a comedy podcast because I'm not funny. I said that since day one. That it was never supposed to be. Like, it can have funny parts to it. It should be funny generally, but it's not like a comedy podcast.
I'm telling you now, no one's going to listen to this if it's not funny.
I'm not going to be funny no matter what. And also, I thought we came to the conclusion that no one was going to listen to this day one as well.
Yeah, but then it seems... you seem like you want people to eventually start listening to it. Like, that's your big goal, is to get some small following.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that'll happen. Yeah.
The only way that's going to happen is if we're funny. I'm
not funny. I don't know what you want.
I want you to be funny.
I can't. Like, you can't just ask someone who's not funny to be funny. That's not how that works. That's the whole reason why...
Well, then you have to do something.
That's why humor is a talent. It's not like...
Right, but you don't do any... If you were come into the show and you were funny off the cuff and on the fly, I'd say fine. But you're saying I'm not funny and I'm not going to prep to try and be funny or find funny things or bring funny topics or write 10 minutes of funny material or funny bit or funny prop or funny character. We were talking about imaginary
friends. Like, this was fine. I don't know why...
Okay, first of all, I brought that up. Second of all, I asked you if you had an imaginary friend and you went, nope.
Do you want to pause it? Because I don't want to have this... Like, I feel like a podcast that's just us fighting is also...
That's what I'm saying.
So then pause it.
No, I'm saying we need to...
Why do we need to hash this out on audio?
We don't need to hash that on audio. I'm saying we've talked about this so many times and you keep not doing anything.
I asked you how to prep and you said...
You asked me how to prep 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Or 5 minutes before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
I said, Jessica, I'm going to go get a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
I'll be back up in 90 seconds. And then we're going to start the podcast. And you went, I don't know how to prep. You've had 3 weeks.
And I keep asking you how, and you keep refusing to
I was telling you how like 10 minutes ago.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I was trying to...
be funny.
No, that was like 90 seconds ago. I was trying to tell you what other good podcasts do, and you go, we're not them. I don't care. That's stupid. I'm telling you what you can bring to the show, and you're dismissing it out of hand.
Again, let's have this. I don't want to have this conversation on the
Then what do you want to talk about?
You said you had like an hour worth of prep.
No, I said I had like 3 things. I did an hour of prep by listening to podcasts. So what were the other things? I'm asking you to bring something up. Because you keep shooting down everything I try to bring up. I'm asking you to bring something up, please.
I say we pause it.
No, we're not going to pause it because this isn't going to get better.
I know.
In 20 minutes. So I'm
saying just fucking
No. When I ask you have to bring something to the podcast. I'm asking you to bring something to the podcast and you're saying, let's stop the podcast.
Yeah.
No, that's the exact opposite of what I want.
It doesn't seem like it.
Jessica, I'm begging you, please. Bring up a topic of conversation that might be able to sustain us for 10 minutes.
I didn't prep. I don't have any.
No, just anything. Just start talking.
Making a new episode of Tiger King. That's about to come out.
Keep going.
That's cool.
Keep it going. What do you know about that?
It's going to be hosted by Joel McHale. Joel McHale. Why? Why?
What's wrong with Joel McHale?
Why? Like, this whole thing is obviously a very heated situation. Like, everyone is, like, really, like, their whole life depends on what happens. And, like, it's a very intense show. And the fact that comedians are like, I want in on this. It's, like, ugh. It's a little cringy to me. Where, like, yes, everyone's watching the show and everyone is kind of, like, making fun of them. It still is a serious thing, kind of.
So who would you want to host this?
I don't want to host. It's a fucking documentary. Okay, it's weird.
Let's say they're doing it in a format where you need a host. Who do you want to host?
I don't know.
Wolf Blitzer's going to host this? Think Anderson Cooper's going to get within a mile of this thing? No one with a serious reputation and a serious career is going to touch this.
Or even, like, someone like Colbert or Jon Stewart.
They're comedians.
John Oliver.
They're comedians, too.
I know, but they're at least, like, news comedians.
So is Joel McHale.
He is?
He hosted The Soup for, like, 10 years.
No shit. Okay, I thought he just was in Community. Okay, well, asked and answered, I guess. But I still think it's weird to have a comedian at all. Like, even the news comedians, I feel like it should just not be hosted by anyone.
Okay, so you would just want, you wanted to get them all in a room and shake them up like a snow globe and see what happens.
Well, I mean, what's the point of this next episode, too? Like,
well, maybe wait until you're putting your feet all over my clean clothes.
Okay.
It's not okay. I don't like it.
You put your clean clothes on the couch?
No, I didn't. You did.
Well, they're not on it anymore, so.
Are you kidding me? Do you think I can't see? Do you think because we're recording a radio show that I can't see you right now? You have to talk! For the love of God.
Anyway, so that's happening. You're right, I can wait until it comes out to give my 2 cents about it, but...
Why bother?
I just feel like it's going to be more of the same than it already was, but...
And you loved what it already was.
That's true, that's what I'm saying, they should just keep it. But I'm also intrigued because I heard talk of, like, Channing Tatum playing one of the characters, and apparently his current husband wants to be played by Zac Efron and stuff, so, like, in theory... I think David Spade was asked to be one of the characters, too, so he might have been asked to be, like...
This all just sounds like online speculation. Also, they're not making a movie out of it right now. They're just doing one more episode. I know, but
I think they're making a movie out of it. Or some crazy shit. I think...
What could they possibly make a movie out of?
Like, I think they're just doing a dramatized version of it, but also, yeah, you're right. Why do we need that? Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, we can, talk about that Tiger King episode when it comes out. I think it's coming out soon, right?
Sunday.
And it is...
Saturday.
It's Friday. Saturday, right?
I don't know what day it is. It's Friday, I guess.
It's Friday, 11:22 p.m., dear reader. Get them time checks in. That's another regular bit that we do. Checking the time once or twice an episode. So, there we go. That's some structure. It's about as structured as you can get. It's checking the time. We can also have, if you want, transition music, like...
Sure.
Something like that.
But that's editing. That's not...
No. If I just press it like right...
It shouldn't be that, though.
It's like a soundboard. Have you ever listened to a radio show?
No.
Okay.
But also,
here's what you.
It's editing.
Here's what it's not editing. It's not editing. It's me pressing.
Like, how do you know what sound you're gonna need?
You just have a lot lined up, and you just try and you. Okay, here's what your prep can do. I can send you, as I keep over and over again trying to get you to listen to. Like I try and get you to listen to the Ron and Fez show. Dear reader, if you don't know what the Ron and Fez show is, how much time do we have? Because I could talk about it for like an hour and a half. So sometime in the mid-90s, right, Jess? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ron and Fez started a radio show, and Fez is not his real name, obviously, played a character. And then sometime in the mid-2000s, right, like 2003, Jessica just shook her head.
I have no idea.
Good for radio.
I don't listen to the Ron and Fez.
You got good instincts, kid.
I don't listen to it.
But say, I don't know. Don't shake your head.
Okay, I don't know.
They can't see us.
Well, I don't want people to know I don't know, so I just shake my head. You're just supposed to keep going.
So anyway, Fez played a gay character, and then he, in his private life, seemingly came out as a gay man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he gay?
And right, so before that he was just playing a gay character, and then started reconciling or being unable to reconcile the fact that he was playing this gay character and that he was gay, didn't feel right, and blah blah blah. So from like 2003 or so, 2004 until like 2015, it's Bennington, hosting a show with a man who spends over a decade just very very slowly losing his mind on air. And it makes for some of the most interesting, both from a comedic and from a psychological standpoint, really, some of the most interesting listening you'll ever. And there are hundreds, maybe thousands of hours of it online. There's a 2-hour segment where Fez has a cat, and this is like 2012 probably, like towards the end of his spiral into insanity. He says he has a cat that can say cookie. And so if Fez says cookie, you want a cookie? The cat will say cookie. So they spend 2 hours with Fez going cookie, 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 and Ron just going, you have to get that fucking cat to say cookie. We're not going to brace. He's not going to say it, Ron. I don't fucking care. We're not breaking. If this cat says cookie once, we'll make $1 million. We're not ending the show until this fucking cat says cookie. We're not doing anything else today until you told me this cat could say cookie. You've been talking about it for weeks. Make that fucking cat say cookie. And so that goes on for 2 hours. It's fantastic. I keep trying to get you to listen to these. I've been trying to get you to listen to these.
I listened to the cookie episode.
I've been trying to get you to listen to these for months. So
I don't like how mean he is.
That's fine. But my point is that you don't have to listen to it from a comedic standpoint now. You can listen to it from a producing standpoint, from a logistical standpoint on how to put together a radio show.
I keep saying I would be more than happy to do the editing and producing or whatever the fuck.
No.
Yes.
That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is you can listen to a radio show and see what sort of things go into making a radio show and go into doing the radio show live, and what sort of things you can bring to the show and what sort of things we can do and what sort of things people are capable of and comfortable with doing on a live radio show off the cuff. Flying by the seat of your pants kind of thing. Like what's...
Okay, I need you to understand I will never be the type of person that can do that.
No, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to when I say, here, I can bring up these sound effects and I can hit buttons on a computer or on a board, and that way I can make, sound effects like that. Mm-hmm. All I need you to do is not say, no, we can't do that. How are we going to do that? Okay. Are you going to do it live? Just roll with it. Okay. You have to have some sense of understanding what's possible and what we can do. Okay. To know what do you want to talk about? We got about 10 minutes left. This is good. Still good. Your computer's fine, dear reader. Jessica is doing a silent protest, kind of like a Gandhi thing.
You piss me off.
Yep.
So now I don't have anything to say.
Great. How do those two things come together? How does me bother you have anything to do with you not having anything to bring to the radio show?
Every time I talk, you just... Again, I don't like fighting with you.
Forget about fighting. Let's not fight right now then. You keep trying to fight, let's not fight. I agree.
I know, but then you keep bringing it back to what do you have to talk about, and it's, guess what? Still nothing.
Okay, but just babble. What did you do today? Anything?
I told you I played Wildlife Park.
Besides Wildlife Park.
My skink was asleep, so I couldn't hang out with him. So I just sat and cried. And I watched Rob make couscous. And,
Spanish rice. Matter of fact. It's not couscous.
Okay.
You know couscous is not rice? That was a type of rice, but it's just little itty-bitty balls of wheat that are rolled into those shapes. Circles, I think they're called. Spheres. When they're three-dimensional.
So yeah, and then it was like hailing and shit, so I couldn't go outside. It was pretty bleak. Pretty bleak.
It was hailing today?
I think so.
Wasn't it like 55 degrees?
Look, I was watching Snapchat stories and people were saying there was hail, so...
Where?
I don't know. I don't know where any of my Snapchat friends
Wyoming.
Yeah, I don't know.
So?
Well, I saw someone doing the news, but he could have literally been from anywhere.
You saw someone on the news?
Yeah, and he was like, it's hailing. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And then someone that I know for a fact lives close to me.
Your understanding of you're like someone who was born in 1886 watching a television.
Thank you.
Like the man in the box said it was hailing.
Yes.
Go outside and see. I saw hail. I jumped out my chair when a train was coming towards me. Thought it was going to plumb run me over. Jessica, you have to say something.
I hate you.
You. That's fine, but you have to pretend like you don't hate me for the next...
Like, I don't need to be funny because I can just talk and then you could just make fun of me. That's what you do anyway. Like, that's our...
I know, but then you at least have to talk.
So anyway, I saw it was hailing, and
sure.
I saw an account from someone that lives like a state or two away that it was hailing there. So I'm pretty sure...
The sky is falling. A state or two away is Canada from us.
No?
Could be, yep.
Oh.
Yep. We're in a state that borders Canada.
No, like I would say not that far. Canada's like 8 hours away, 6 hours away.
So what?
I know for a fact that they're less than that.
God. Jessica, dear reader, you'll note, is a horse's ass.
It's like they're probably... It's like, again...
That was good. That was good.
Good. I was going to say, like, how far we are from...
This is good.
40 minutes away, let's say.
You're breaking up. I'm going through a tunnel.
Like 40 minutes away, an hour away. That's how far away.
Okay.
Like, let's say this person lived in Manhattan, and it was hailing. And I was
sorry.
Wow.
I'm going to stop you right here. Do you think we're 2 states away from Manhattan?
No. But, like, Connecticut is, like, 20 minutes away. So, like,
sure.
New York City is actually farther away than Connecticut. So I'm saying...
Don't give me that. Farther away than Connecticut, Jessica.
Yeah.
It's also not true. The Bronx is closer than Connecticut is to us, but...
the Bronx is not the
city. Figure out where we are. Pinpoint our location. The Bronx is the city. The Bronx is one of the 5 boroughs. It's bigger than Manhattan.
I don't count it.
You don't... It's
the
not
Bronx
up to
is
you.
a part of Westchester.
It's not. It's A, it's not. B, you don't get to decide.
Well, I'm just saying if I'm going to talk about it like it is.
Ed Koch over here. Mayor of New York.
Okay.
Jessica made a confused face. I know you probably couldn't tell, dear reader, because you can't see us!
We need a video segment. That's going to be my segment.
No, for the love of God. Because if we do a video segment, you're going to go off screen so you can glare at me.
No.
What do you mean, no? Yes.
No, I'm very comfortable glaring at you on camera. Extraordinarily. Maybe too comfortable.
I'm warning you now. Or not warning you. I'm advising you now. Giving you unsolicited advice. Which I try not to do, but here we are. Well, you're getting it anyway. Because you're being petulant. So, people... That's a good point. That did refute most of what I was saying. Yeah. I think that most of what you have going for you is some degree of sympathy from the listeners.
Nope.
What do you mean no?
I can guarantee you that does not exist.
I'm telling you that at the very least they think that... I think they'd be sympathetic to you. At the very least, they would think that you and I go back and forth. Like, you snap at me, I snap at you. Yeah. I start something, you start something.
I would say
if you bring a video element into it, and they see, A, how often you physically attack me, and B, the way, like, when I say, hey, Jess, what do you have? And then you stare at me for 15 seconds, and then roll your eyes.
No.
And, yeah, no, I'm warning you. I'm 100% guaranteeing it. First of all, we're not doing a video segment. I'm not doing it. Second of all, I'm telling you it's also for your own good, because if we did that, you'd get we'd get 0 viewers and you'd still get hate mail. You would pull it out of the fabric of the universe.
Thank you.
Someone somewhere would just stiffen up like Obi-Wan Kenobi and go, this bitch.
Oh.
I sense.
No, I think
like 1,000 eye rolls.
No, I think there's
echoing through space.
Like when people see me, I think it's like more endearing than just hearing me.
Because of the tits.
Really annoying. No. We can just. I'll wear a smock.
I'm listening to, as I think I've said before, I'm listening to Jurassic Park on tape. I finished it today.
Wow.
It's not good.
It didn't sound good from what I heard.
No.
I heard about like 2 hours.
It was the book, Jurassic. For those of you who might be confused, Jurassic Park is a movie by Steven Spielberg. I'm not mentally disabled, I know that. But it's based on a book. You're sitting and your feet are on my clothes right now.
Sorry.
Don't tell me you're sorry. Move.
I did. I also moved.
That's Jessica's butt.
You don't have a problem with the butt.
Clothes.
You just said the feet.
I said you're sitting on... Okay, moving on. I don't care.
You made me come here. I was on my red couch. You made me do that.
Because you're too far. You're probably too far now.
No.
Well, I can't argue with that, quite literally. So, anyway, I listened to the entire audiobook of Jurassic Park.
That's him hitting himself. I'm not hitting him.
Oh, no, I think they probably know. They're probably smacking their own heads against their desks right now. So, they're probably driving into the oncoming lane of traffic if they're in their cars. Anyway, I listened to the entire book on tape. It was like 14 hours. I listened to it on 1 1/4 speed because I'm like, I'm not sitting through 14 hours of this, but that still makes it like 11 hours. First of all, it was not good. It was like the language was really repetitive. Like he raised his head and his head was up by the other dinosaur's head and their heads were next to their heads. It was just really, it was almost like it was written for children, which I don't think was the intention.
Was what I heard 1 1/4?
Yeah, it was all...
Wow, it was really slow.
It was still pretty, because I started listening to it, I was like, oh no, this is not happening. I can't tolerate this. I thought maybe 1.5 speed would be even doable, but if you speed things up on YouTube, particularly long videos, because of how much compression, I guess, goes into it, it starts to get a little tinny.
Okay.
So anyway, I listened to it on 1 1/4 speed. First of all, the guy reading it,
weird accent.
I don't... Listen, he pronounced foliage as foliage, and he pronounced... And that came up a lot. There was another word, too, that was... Sloth instead of sloth, or vice versa, rather. Some girl said she was looking for a sloth, and he kept... At first, I didn't know what was happening. She was like... She thought that maybe she would see a sloth. And I was like, what? Oh, I guess that's some weird word. I don't know. But then, no, I was like, oh, no, a 3-toed sloth.
Ew.
I know that word. It's sloth.
Ew.
Guy, buddy, there's no W in the word sloth. It's sloth. It's sloth.
My favorite thing was that he's like a full-grown man, and when he had to say the little girl parts...
Yeah, the little girl's voice, I want a hamburger! First of all,
she said.
Yeah. I want a hamburger! Lex complained. Like, what?
Yeah, that's very weird.
So that was kind of odd, and also, aside from the narration, which that was... a little perturbing, but the girl's character, as she was written, was the most fucking annoying character in the
She's terrible in the movie too, though.
Yeah,
I hated her so much.
She was she was worse and a bigger character in the book. She was maybe like the 3rd most significant character in the book, 3rd or 4th, and so she was younger in the book. She was more significant character. She was way more annoying. And it was 13 fucking hours.
Men, I think, don't know how to write little girls.
No, it was terrible. And also, he wrote, at some points, he wrote her, I think she was, I don't know why I'm saying it, I think she was 8 in the book.
Okay.
I think in the movie she was probably like 11, just ballparking based on what I remember the girl looking like. Yeah, she wasn't that young. But this little girl was sometimes and she at one point a couple of times she said because she got scared, she said I saw an aminal, and then she said she kept going like they were being, it wasn't even like at the start of they just got to the Jurassic Park and she was no this was 9-10 hours into this fucking nightmare of a goddamn audiobook experience, and she they were running from dinosaurs. Like, they were on a raft in a river trying to paddle away from a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and she was, I want ice cream! Why are you doing anything? I want to go now! For 13 cock-sucking hours. It did not help that the dude doing the voice did it like I was just doing it just now.
Made me
that was it was pretty frankly creepy.
But that's not an evaluation of the book itself.
No, that didn't help, but every time I was like I could visualize reading the book and closing it because I'm not doing an entire 2 chapters of this right now. I'm not reading 35 pages of this. I can't tolerate this.
There was also like a lot of really boring science.
Yeah,
a lot
of which I'm not sure was even accurate. Frankly.
That's like he said, like dinosaurs are around like 150 million years or something. And you say I misheard it, but
you did misheard.
Okay, but still, I think a lot of what he was saying was inaccurate.
That wasn't inaccurate, but some stuff. See, and I mean, I think the book was written in like 89. So a lot of it has been debunked and is long, which is difficult because when you're writing this book and
yeah, I mean that's fair.
It's fair, but you kind of write yourself into a corner when you're saying, like, if you were writing a book about doing dinosaur research, you can say, well, this is what they thought in 1989. But with Jurassic Park, you're saying, well, he's supposing that they saw real dinosaurs, and now scientists are saying like that's not what they would have looked like, guy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult, but
I have a question.
Yeah.
How big did he describe velociraptors as? Because I want to know if it's a movie error or if it's a writing error.
I think he made them pretty big.
No shit.
I think he made them like 6 feet tall.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. That I would have.
Which is not... Velociraptors are about the size of chickens.
Turkeys.
Chickens.
Turkeys.
Chickens.
Turkeys.
I'm not doing this with you again.
I looked it up yesterday.
They're... Really?
Yeah.
All right. I think you're mistaken. They're 5 feet long because they have very long tails.
No, I know, but it literally compared them to the size of a turkey.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
And turkeys also don't have 5 feet tails.
That's true. No, I mean, neither do chickens or most birds.
I know,
there are birds at the zoo that have really, really long tails.
Yeah.
In the world of birds.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's that. So yeah, that was horrible. I stopped at about half an hour before it ended because I was like, I'm done. I'm tapping out. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
It was bad, man. I wouldn't recommend reading or listening to Jurassic Park.
That was my feeling. Like, you told me, like, you walked downstairs yesterday and I was still watching her. And you're like, how are you still watching this movie? It was only like a 2-hour movie in the first place. And I was like, I cannot get fucking through it.
Yeah.
And I did. And I got through it and it ended. And I went, ooh, I should have stopped last
Should have bailed.
Yeah, like, it was awful. It was so mediocre. And, like, the ending was so lukewarm. It just stopped. Oh my god, the whole movie was kind of lukewarm, but then it ended in a lukewarm way too, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't get a happy or a sad ending, kind of, and it was just...
Again, didn't Joaquin Phoenix's pants eat him whole? Like a boa constrictor?
No, actually that's not how... Well, he could have died after that, but...
Yeah, his pants ate him. There's an after credit scene. Loki shows up.
I'd be a lot...
And invites... Or no, not Loki, excuse me. They're looking for Loki. It's Samuel Jackson. Nick Fury shows up and invites... He asks... So he gets Scarlett Johansson. That's where she comes into the movies. And then he asks Joaquin Phoenix's pants if they've ever heard of the Avengers Initiative.
Jesus Christ.
And then they use that pants. Those pants are what the Hulk wears.
And then Joaquin Phoenix is like, I'm sorry, I'm with DC. I can't really...
He became the Joker.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Avengers Initiative takes the pants and they put them on the Hulk. So
Got
when
it.
Hulk's out, they still stick to him. Because they can expand.
Anyway, yeah, no, I got it. They're...
And contract.
Like a boa.
I don't know.
Constricta.
Yeah.
They contract.
I guess, yeah. They get big. They
Yeah.
do constrict. That's different. That's them tensing their muscles.
Yeah, that's contracted.
I don't think a human has ever been killed by a constricting snake.
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty sure.
What?
Pretty sure I read that. You don't think it's true,
If
but
they
you don't know.
constrict your neck, you're dead.
I'm not asking you if they could kill you. I'm saying I don't think it's ever happened.
Wow.
They don't kill things that are that big when they constrict their prey.
Okay. I have to do my research because I feel like it also
Yes.
depends on if a constrictor is venomous or not. I feel like most are not.
I don't think, and as far as I know, none of the big constricting snakes are venomous.
Which is...
That's kind of the point.
Well, I know, but...
If they're venomous, they wouldn't need to bother.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I think some of them... Like, I've seen snakes that will, like, do both. Well, they'll bite and then they'll wrap around their prey. So
I think the biting is just, like, a biting thing.
Okay.
I think, like, animals bite. Like, that's how in this godforsaken fucking audiobook, So it said Tyrannosaurus Rex would kill its prey. It wouldn't be by having particularly strong teeth that would puncture. It would just have gripping strength with its jaw and they would shake the
like
prey.
An alligator.
Like an alligator, sure.
Yeah.
Or like like a house cat.
Another thing that's really interesting, I was watching an alligator be like manhandled and like
crikey.
Yeah, like I was watching someone do it and I was like, holy shit, like it is literally like the more that I'm looking into reptiles and owning reptiles, like the more I'm realizing like it's the exact same process as a tiny lizard, but just bigger. And I was like, I could fucking wrangle an alligator for sure.
You can't even wrangle your lizard.
Yes, I can. He's so good at being wrangled. But anyway, I'm good at wrangling. But anyway, my also another thing that I was thinking about alligators, they're surprisingly easy to hurt in the wild too. Like I've seen many a jaguar just grab a crocodile and just walk away with it, and they just eat it. And I'm like, like, I thought they were this big apex predator. They've been alive since the dinosaurs.
I don't think a jaguar could take on, like, a 15-foot alligator or crocodile.
Sure, but they can take on the crocodiles that are in the area for the most part. Like, I don't think the crocodiles...
I'm saying a full-grown crocodile. Like, for example, a Nile crocodile can get to, like, 30 feet long. 30? I think so. The biggest crocodilians? I don't know. Crocodilians in the world can get that big, yeah.
Jesus.
And I
think
they can weigh up to a ton.
But I
I'll
think...
have to double check that.
So the jaguars are Asian, right? Or like South American?
South American, just South America.
Because
maybe Central America too.
What
jaguar
animals even are the apex predator in South America? Like a jaguar, maybe.
Probably jaguars. I mean, have.
That's the thing.
Like, in the Amazon, there are aquatically speaking, there are dolphins that have very sharp teeth.
Yeah.
There are...
I mean, land dwelling.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I would argue that how ecosystems work is that they... Like, I'm pretty sure the tegu is the biggest... it's like the Komodo dragon of South America. And tegus are a lot smaller than Komodo dragons. So I would argue that South America just has smaller animals generally.
Maybe.
So I would say that the alligators in South America are probably a lot smaller, and the crocodiles that you're talking about, like the ones in Egypt, for example, like Africa has bigger animals generally.
Yeah, there's a lot of savanna and plain and desert in Africa, so I think that lends itself to animals stalking and laying out in the sun and then hunting every once in a while because they have to be able to move a lot more. I think in South America there's a lot more foliage, there's a lot more foliage, as this fucking moron reading Jurassic Park would say. Yeah, well, not just cover, but there's a lot more to eat. There, you know, the need for these big carnivorous animals to develop didn't really exist because there's not a shortage of plant life.
And there's more species in general.
Yeah. So there you go. Oh, something else that I learned that this book, at least this audiobook, seemed to imply was that before this book came out, and really probably before the movie came out, that it seemed like raptor was not really a word that was in the English lexicon.
What?
It seemed like it was, because in the beginning of the book, someone said in Spanish, hay un raptor, or something like that. And the woman said, raptor, what does that mean in Spanish? And then she had to look it up, and she said she was surprised to find it was in the English side of the dictionary as well.
Weird.
So it was a bird of prey. So that it existed in the English language, in common parlance, seemed like this book was implying was not the case.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Although I guess outside of the zoo, I don't really hear the word raptor.
No.
That often, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the movie did change a lot of the culture, too. Like, that was a big fucking movie that...
Yep.
What was it? Clever Girl?
Yeah.
Like, I quote Jurassic Park a lot.
Sure. There you go.
Sam Neill is a gift to God, from God.
A gift to God.
He will be a gift to God when he finally passes, but...
When he finally passes, Jessica's been waiting for the day when that fucker kicks the bucket.
I'm saying, like, if I was God, I'd want him to die immediately, except, like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Sam Neill is just...
You heard it here first, guys. Rest in peace, Sam Neill. Breaking the news that shouldn't be broken.
I love him very much. He was in Daybreakers. You can take this a little long, because, again, I'm going to edit out all the bullshit of us yelling at each other.
No, you won't. See you later, pod racers.
I will.
Bye.